Steel strings wail, thunder roars, battered heart, open source, weight of lies, pulling tight. You're the darkness in my night. Broke me in, broke me down, shed a soul, hit the ground, echo scream, no safe sound.
Welcome to Goobon, everybody. It is Sunday post July 4th weekend. The end of it anyway. Giddy up. I want to thank everybody for coming here tonight on July 6th, 2025. I thought it was the 7th all morning. There's Ben throwing it down. Just became a member again. That's a renewable. Thank you very much, Ben, for being a continuing supporter of Goof on Ben, the Yorkshire Goof. Became a member of Truthology for Ufology this month here on Goof On. Thanks, everybody, for hanging out. We're going to talk about tonight, I know what you're going to say. I know you know all the answers, like, most of us think we do. And I don't know how long you've been in this field, but when I first got into it, planes and balloons and satellites were the go-to. Oh, and then flares was also flares, balloons, planes, and satellites. That was the go-to. And then drones came out and Fibonacci, the whole entire ufological research team. But made it very difficult to determine what's a spy drone, a military drone, a commercial drone, a consumer drone. Yeah, man. Then we had the drone invasion November last year through Trump's inauguration. It just ended the next day. And it did the invasion, for lack of a better term, because that's what it felt like on the New Jersey coast. It felt like they were being inundated. They were being inundated with unknown drone objects. And, they were calling them UAPs and UFOs. And we're like, yeah, they're interesting. They are. They're a lot of weird looking things were brought to daylight. And I always wondered why they would do such a thing. And when we talk about who were the drone operators in November when we had the invasion? It was us. Now, I am to believe, and I don't know if you guys feel this way, because I used to just shout, it's China! China, China, China drones, China technology. Their hypersonic technology was light years ahead of us, we were told. And then within the last 2+ years, something strange happened. There was a test done. For the first time in history, the U.S. military fired a hypersonic missile around the world. Can be anywhere in an hour, or whatever it was, right? That's what China did a couple of years ago. So, there's this strange hypersonic race. There's this strange race to get to the moon. Believe it or not, that's a thing. There's a strange race to get to space. There's a strange race to get to Mars. Do you think all of this is because we want to just go traveling? Or is it because there's stuff to look at and they know where to take us? No, that's not it either, because then you're letting the cat out of the bag. Can't happen. So All of this stuff just to get to space. And not even deep space. We're talking solar system space, not interstellar. We don't have the means or the resources or the propulsion system to do that in a in a way that would see me fishing enough in one lifetime. You can get from here instead of 40 years to get to the end of our solar system, as Voyager 1 and 2 just did. So it's a long trip at 17,500 miles an hour, or whatever they're going. They're going faster than that. 40,000, is it? Yeah, they picked up speed when they shot around. They pick up the gravity around the Jupiter, around the Saturn, and it was pretty cool. We've lived through a lot, history. And then anytime we're brought into the world of space travel, it's always brought up. Well, are there aliens waiting? See, here's the problem, my peeps. And then we'll do roll call real quick. You have got the Galactic Federation sitting out there, hiding behind a Saturn moon or something. In the rings, I think, something. All right. Let's say that's a legitimate thing. We're not ready, remember? According to them, we're not ready to the Galactic Federation. They're waiting for a certain percentage of people on Earth to have the ability to evolve into vibratorial communications. Is that what we're waiting for? Is that what they're waiting for us to have the ability to read each other's thoughts? I don't understand this superhero ability we need to have. Is that what they are telling us? Because that's how I remember. I'm going to have to look that up. Hey, Elicity. How you doing? Good to see you. Nathan from the Quantum Show throwing down $2.22. Are you out of your Vulcan mind? Thank you, Nathan from the Quantum Show, throwing it down like it's 2026. Appreciate that, man. Hope everything's going well. Hope you had a good 4th. Good to see you. Let's do a little roll call. Stephen A's here. How you doing, man? Seen you been commenting. Ben the Yorkshire Griffoon. How you doing? Marcy Hill. Goophonian Rockstar. What's up, Stephen A? Welcome. Sky Allen. How you doing, huh? Who's this? Hey, Willie Kenobi. How you doing? Love that profile picture. Maybe a huge rock's heading our way and they don't want to say anything. Thank you for reminding me because, okay, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe they're trying to figure out a way to get the richest people in the world to be on the moon or Mars while the Earth gets destroyed. Maybe they could hover around in orbit. I don't know if they'll be able to do it unless they have some sort of communication with something down there on Earth. I'm not sure. We are in a very strange time, my friends. You don't realize it because it's happening to you. But we are in historic times right now. So much stuff is happening. And it's all being ignored or laughed at or being called a hoax or it just everything that's going on right now is getting a negative response. But why? Why, Willie? Myra Page, welcome to this show. Good to see you and the Sunflower. Hey, Glenn Collins, how you doing, eh? How's everybody in them, huh? Anjali. Welcome to the show. Angel. Well, no. Hey, Cindy. How you doing today? Hope everything's going well. Wow. Oh, I didn't forget. Chicken Coop Confidential. This is the one that made the intro. Broke me in, broke me down. I should do the backup. Hey, Brooke is, huh? What? Huh? Welcome to the show, everybody. If I didn't say your name, it doesn't mean I don't love you. It means we have a lot of show to do. So let's get going. Appreciate you guys hanging out on a Sunday. Hope you had a great Mother's, Father's, 4th of July day. All those came within the last several months, right? Mother's Day in May, June, Father's Day, and then July. Now, what's coming in August? Nothing. September, Memorial Day. October, Halloween. November, Thanksgiving. Happy New Year, everybody. So today's January 2nd. I just did, that's what it feels like. All right, I want to have a little fun just going through things tonight. I don't want to be the interrupter, the complainer, but I do want to talk in a little bit. Hey, Christopher V, how you doing? About where, there's, you may not know it, but we are in historical times, and I want to go over that in a little bit. So just get all warmed up, and I got to just play a couple of things that make me feel good. I have to let you guys know what people are talking about in this community. So this is a leaked call. We're going back how many years since the Phoenix Lights? 97, 07, 17, 27, 26, 25, 28 years ago. The Phoenix Lights. That's crazy. So let's say 30 years ago. I wasn't even 40 yet. Well, the Phoenix Lights, everybody knows, right? You all know about it. Some people think it was a big 1 to 2 mile wide craft at the 10 o'clock sighting. That's not true. Those were flares. At 8:15 to 8:30, yes, there was a 1 to 2 mile wide craft that flew eerily low, 500 feet. Eerily, that's low. For a craft that barely moved 30 miles an hour, where Stephen Lay and his family sat there and said they could have thrown a rock straight up and probably hit it. At least that's what it felt like to them. And I know where they lived, and it said it went right over the mountains, and those are Squaw Peak. I think they're only 300 feet. Anyway, I want to play this because this is a leaked call from an airman at Luke Air Force Base the night after the Phoenix Lights. Yeah, again, they did it. They're so stupid. They think we're dumb. Jets scrambled the next night, and they say that pilots were terrified. So they're trying to get people to think, why would they do that? And they say there's gun camera footage. You won't see it today. Yeah, and it says here the public never saw it. This is the anonymous call from Luke Air Force Base. This is history. Like I say, history. It's happening all the time in this field, and people just don't know when or how to understand.
It's Friday the 14th of March, 97. I'm talking with a gentleman who's calling from Phoenix. Okay, sir, go ahead.
At 8:15, that's Luke Air Force Base, the two F-15s that we keep on regular, they were launched because all hell broke loose, basically. They encountered something over the sky, over Phoenix, Arizona. They don't know what it was. One of the pilots stated that they had a visual on it, they've got gun camera film of it, they have no radar tape of it. It scared the hell out of them. I've never seen this man scared.
Those two pilots get out of their aircraft and they're shaking because their gun-ready camera was filming something they've never saw before.
He saw 5 distinct lights in a triangular pattern. He doesn't know if it was one aircraft or several aircraft. He was scared to death. He's not sure what it was. Where they landed, the base was, we had a complete lockdown. The facility was closed.
So I want to show you something. The light configuration they showed here, because this is one of them. See this here? See the 3 lights? Then you got another one here, maybe 3 in each corner. Could be 9 lights. Now you tilt this craft horizontally where the lights are all on the same plane in a horizontal, and it would look like 9 lights, right? If this was brought down where the others are, which you can't see them, but yeah, you know, perspective plays a lot into this, but there were flares. There was a real craft. And then the next night, this was being talked about. And then a few months later, flares were seen on the side of a road during a news broadcast. And they're like, doesn't that look like the Phoenix Lights? And they're like, was it? Flares? Nobody said flares until a month or 2 later. Nobody thought it was flares. Not that I remember. And that's the weird thing about it. You know, people forget. Nobody mentioned flares. So, you're damn right it was probably a craft at 8 o'clock. Well, I know it was. Only because of all the witnesses I spoke to. But at 10 o'clock, no. Anyway, I just wanted to show you that. Let you hear what was said. Nobody knows, but only the people who saw it know. And that's what stinks. There's video and everything. So speaking of video, my peeps, another historic thing everybody's dismissing. Even myself. But you can't dismiss this time in ufology. The bogosphere. Do you think it's legit? I don't. I have no doubt in my mind that this is a hoax. Maybe Jaime's not in on it. Maybe he's just still crossing his fingers. I hope this thing doesn't break open. You know? But Jaime Maussan just revealed that Mexican engineers that are analyzing the sphere they found out it emits a low frequency signal at 2.3 hertz. Hertz. Not gigahertz. Hertz. H-Z. A range used to send messages beyond Earth's atmosphere. This is the new find. Let me pull it up and just so you know what I'm looking at. Isn't this amazing? But it's not just the pins, quote unquote, up here, acting like antennae. The entire sphere is an antenna. Yeah, signals were observed fluctuating, disappearing, and then returning, suggesting intelligent patterning or unknown communication protocols. Hey, let's hear it. Come on, let the geniuses like myself and many others out there who know how to listen. Let's hear it. I want to hear it talk, don't you? Guess what? We never will. Next, according to engineers working with the UNAM experts, the sphere's static field doesn't block the signal. It amplifies it through motion. Can you believe it? They now believe the internal chip is coordinating fiber optic bundles that regulate signal batches. Yeah. The aliens, they're using fiber optics too. You know, they discovered it when we discovered it. Hey, Margaret, did you know aliens have micro, whatever the fuck, they got it too. Yeah, micro, what the fuck, fiber optics, microfiber. I'm thinking of towels. This isn't just strange technology, they say. It's potentially extraterrestrial hardware broadcasting into the cosmos. Or responding to something that's already here. This is history, my peeps. Let's take a listen.
It's there, it is right now. But for example,
What is that, a diamond checker? What is he, checking it with a diamond purity thing? It's gold, baby. All right, I'm playing. Come on, let's go. All right, first of all, this can be faked. I'm just saying. Why isn't this in America yet? Jaime? Because it's fake. Oh, okay.
heard, that's out of range. It's there, it is right now. But for example, right now it's 1.2. Rejected 2.2 is recorded. So it varies, the frequency varies. No.
Oh, hey, guys. Do you feel like, hey, beep. Guys? Yep, that's it. He put his hand up. That's it. Let's try it again. Beep. Yep, 2.2 this time. 2.2 hertz. Beep. Yep.
No, what does that mean? Well, it's not a frequency.
What is he using? What are we playing here? Operation?
These are different frequencies.
Look at this thing. This was put here with candle wax. You know what I mean? Doesn't it look like these are candle wax droppings?
It's a game of frequencies. It goes up,
Yeah.
down, disappears, comes back. I don't know. It's trying to communicate.
Do you want to know? See, they're coming up with a narrative that to me is a stretch. But what if they're right? Look, he's got a Movado watch. I used to have that same watch till somebody stole it out of my car. I had the mirror face too. All right. So, okay. I bet you if you or anybody else grabbed a bowling ball, okay, because you know how bowling balls are made, right? Do you know? Yeah, polyurethane, and you know what's inside of it, right? Metal, right? And usually it's off-center, depending on the make. A Rhino has a different type of Rhino-made ball that's a name brand. Those are made a little differently. They're made to curve more than some others. This could have been a bowling ball at one time. I don't know. But I bet if you took a bowling ball and put these little needles on it, you would get a reaction. I'd bet my dollar. What'd I just say? I bet my bottom dollar.
Or I don't know, but it's lying. This would explain why some people get headaches. Yes, of course, there's an emission here, and why he turned the lights on and
show you
off in
something.
the studio.
Go back.
There, yes.
Look at this. Look at this etching. I mean, it's awful. Is that supposed to be a straight line or no? I mean, just take a look. I mean, you know what I mean? For alien tech, and then over here it looks like, I messed up. Oh, Jesus. You and I could have done this better. Look, they got the Nazi symbol. Let's do this. Let's put half of the Nazi symbol, and then we'll put a little shoopity-doo instead of putting it up here. It'll remind people of the movie Contact. And then we'll put a triangle on it. Make it like a planchette from a Ouija board. Yeah, let's do that. The all-seeing eye in the middle. Bingo, you did it. Now let's create the fake microchip right on top here. I like circuitry. Yeah, circuitry looks real freaking alien, doesn't it? No, but I like it anyway. Do it. Okay. Beep. 2 gigahertz. No. Beep. 2.2 hertz. Yes.
Of course, there's an emission here, and why he turned the lights on and off in the studio. There's an emission here. An effect. There it is. 1 second. Engineer Rodolfo Garrido.
Before Adolfo Burrito speaks, I want to ask my peeps a question. How do I word this? I'll come back to it. I want to say it nice.
After analyzing the sphere a few hours ago, yesterday, of recording some type of signal, we know that you went to the university. What were they able to determine? First, before anything else, The signal that was detected yesterday is clearly visible on the instrument. It's a 2.13 Hz signal. Look, the frequency is very low. You would say it's significant, but suddenly it went down more, went up a little, and then the signal was gone.
Okay, I want to ask you something. What is... Hold on, I want to pull it up. Hold on, just give me a second. I want to pull something up. I think you'll understand. No, this is important to the conversation. Okay. All right, guys. Let me pull this up. This is unbelievable to me. What's happening? Do you see what they're trying to do, I think? Does anybody get it? Do you understand? Look, I pulled this up because the signal that's coming from Skinwalker Ranch is 1.6 gigahertz. Yeah, and that's discussed a lot on the show. The show's team, particularly Travis Taylor, has theorized that this signal might be of extraterrestrial origin or related to unknown phenomena on the ranch. However, other explanations, including potential interference from GPS, space operations, and even the show's own equipment, have been proposed. So here's a breakdown suggesting a possible connection to UAPs or other unexplained phenomena. So we have a signal. Taylor, a prominent astrophysics member of the show, suggested that signal could be related to GPS space communications, pointing out that 1.6 gigahertz is a common frequencies used for such purposes. Didn't we hear that about the sphere? It's made to do what? They said that the sphere's signal at the 2.2 is made for space talk, talking in space, communicating in deep space, right? Yeah. So, whoa. Yeah, I thought I saw a couple of things pop up here. Hold on. You guys were, here we go. Intergalactic Wrangler signed up to Truthology for Ufology, became a member again. Thank you for that. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. That was really nice of you guys. Appreciate the re-ups on this. I'm looking at what you guys are saying. Yeah, thanks a lot. Who's this? Beza, how you doing? Hey, Rich, I usually come over for some sense of normalcy, but what are we watching? No. You come over because I'm a normal dude always looking at the abnormal. That's what you should be saying. And they're using a voltage meter. Okay. Yeah, I kind of forgot the name. Thank you. It's a multimeter. Yeah, thanks for re-upping your subscriptions. Appreciate it. I just saw it. Now it's gone. I don't know who it was. Who did that? With apathy, and that's all, folks. Phil McClorick gifted one Goof on membership. Metalhead received that membership. Well, thank you, Phil. Enjoy Metalhead. You deserve that for sure. What's up, Carnundrum? Thank you guys for giving the show a boost. All right. So, you know what I mean? This is where we're at. This is Deputy Dog, too. Well, sir. I'm Deputy Dog. Request, going... Oh, no, he would speak Spanish. You can Taco Bell, sir. I don't know Spanish. All right, that's not nice. Well, that's racist. So we've got the signals. Remember this conversation we just had about the signals, all right? Because the 1.6 gigahertz is not the same as 1.6 hertz. So one and the other are two totally different signals on two totally different spectrums on the dial, for lack of a better term. And yet they both can talk in space and aliens. Oh my. Everything's aliens, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's a signal you could talk to aliens. Yeah, GPS, use it, the weather. It's so much fun. I love this community. All right, let's keep playing. I love ufology, I meant to say. It's so much fun.
Look, the frequency is very low. You would say it's significant, but suddenly it went down more, went up a little, and then the signal was gone. Some time passed and we received the signal again. That's recorded. Well, I can't explain this at the moment. I declare my competence, and it was necessary to seek advice from more expert, more learned people, especially one of my teachers at the university, this one, who is associated with the communications issue. And so he saw in great detail the instrumentation that was done yesterday, the measurements, but he also saw in great detail the sphere. So, well, he located us. He located that from the beginning my position was incorrect, that it's not where the chip is, just an antenna, but that the entire sphere is a complete antenna, the entire sphere. And then he attributes, well, I attribute with his talk, that if the chip has internal connections, as we have already seen, then those must surely be associated with some association with the optical fibers that are detected, and surely it transmits and receives, but the order of how the fibers are going to be handled, we go in batches perfectly, surely distributed in the pins, and that is what the chip is for.
Wow. This sphere can do it all, my friends. Right? Wait, I thought the sphere can fly. Not only can it fly, it's a signal generator, it's a signal receiver, and wait, and it's an antenna. It does it all. It's the sphere ball. Erich, Jaime, forget about it. How about Fulgazi?
But the entire sphere itself, the whole thing, is transmitting or receiving at low frequency.
Look at this thing. They make toys better looking than this piece of shit. This is something that was definitely made in on that side of the world. Spain, Mexico, Peru, whatever. Look at the etchings on the side. You know what they said, remember? It's like a hieroglyphs, but no, it's a song different. So you got your Jesus fish right here. You see it? Bottom right. Jesus fish.
Receiving
You
at
got
low
another Jesus fish kind of over here. A lot of Jesus fish. You got F for Fulgazi. Now, if you go around here, look. F, I, C, and then the letter N. Do you know why? You know what that says? Fiction, right? And then you got E or three amigo. There's the G. And this is moving. This is wind. So this is a lot of hot air. And this is telling us that the sphere moves through the air. This right here tells us everything we need to know about the sphere. And then here, this is supposedly a being that can ride the sphere. And then here you have the sphere, which can pretty much go through things. They're showing us it can go through land, air, and water. You understand? That's what this means up here. Now here are two ears, human ear and alien ear. And what they're saying is you can hear us talking. Get it? That's how they communicate. Then right here, this, believe it or not, is X marks the spot, because look what the next thing says. And then it comes in for a landing on the spot. You see it? And then you got it again. The hold wind, the three amigos, and it starts over again. Then you get the lady. The lady with the pigtails. They didn't really show us pigtails in their way, but this is pigtails, right? And then here is the letter H, but it's not the letter A. I don't know what this means yet. Somebody said this is broken astronomy, or it's broken, or two beings helping each other. Like, here's a being with its hands on its lower back of the other being. So this is the alien being allegedly helping the human being. So, and then you got the Jesus fish, and then you go over here. I don't know why the circle, but I think that means eternal, and that is the diamond of the gods, because they love shiny stuff, right? And that's it. I debunked the sphere's outer edge. You guys can come to me for advice. I talk to the sphere talks to me. It's the frequency that they've been waiting for us over beyond Saturn to evolve into. I've evolved. Doesn't it seem like that is just as good as anything else they're telling us? What I just did there is just as good as what they're doing to us. I mean what I said. I think I debunked it. I think I just got a message from the sphere. Why? Why not? I'm talking about it. They're not. Maybe it hears me. Maybe it feels me. Maybe I'm vibrating at the right amount. All right, let's finish off with the Yippee dog.
Now, I thought, well, in some sense. Also, I told him, I questioned my teacher saying, well, teacher, but if it is wrapped in a static field, well, we know that static interrupts signals. He says, no, because the static field is moving and this helps the signal. Wow. So, the final thesis that was reached is that the sphere is receiving or sending low frequency. And low frequencies, Jamie, are not for transmitting radio programs here. Megahertz is used here. Low frequencies are used to transmit into space. The lower the frequency and the more powerful it is, the further it travels and reaches further into space.
Good.
For example, the message that was transmitted from Arecibo by Fran Kerrigan was transmitted to the constellation of Hercules at a very low frequency, but with enormous power because low frequencies are the ones that reach the furthest, the farthest in space.
That's true.
That's what we've reached so far, Jamie. Well, the truth...
They think that the bogosphere is emitting a very low-grade frequency in a building that has 4 walls and a roof in an atmosphere that's, what is it, 60 miles thick, where a lot of signals, weak, can't really make it out. Like my phone, when you get just even one level underground, and you get too high, right? But you got to be right in the sweet spot. And you got to have satellites that are picking up the signal. So my question to the astronomers is, can't they tell which direction the signal's being thrown? I think what they should do is take the sphere, put it on the top of a mountain, drive away. Maybe you can keep it in view when you drive away. Make sure nobody's going to come there, block the road off. You drive a mile, 2 miles till you can still see it, but barely. And then you see if the sphere is going to throw a signal out in a particular direction. Then you start sending messages to that signal. Ride the wave. But no, nobody mentioned it. Not one person said, we're trying to find where the signal goes to. Nobody said that. You know who said it? The non-astronomer UFO nut. It's amazing being me. It really is. This is what I'm telling you. They leave out the important stuff in the most historic find of our lives. And the thing still doesn't fly. I don't hear it making any noise other than what's coming off of their little pinpricks. I mean, the poor thing, can you leave it alone for a little bit? It's like it went into the emergency room at the hospital and they got to come in every 45 minutes to make sure it's still humming. Friggin' A, man. Put it in the glass box, seal it up, let it freak out. Let the ball freak out. If it's real, put it somewhere, turn the lights off, and say, or better yet, oh, this is good. Bury it. Bury it like 10 feet underground. Just put it in the ground. Bury it like you would Houdini with all the dirt. If that ball comes up out of the ground, we've got something. If there's a signal that can be heard from underneath the ground, then that signal can leave the earth and talk to its little ship out there. If we can hear it making a noise, why can't we hear the other toys? Stupid, that's why, because it's F-A-C-K-E. Isn't that how they spell it in Mexican? I don't want to talk about Jim Semivan. It's going to get me. I'm going to have a conniption. Jim Semivan's one of the worst. I always forget him too. I forget to mention, you know what? I'm going to make an addendum real quick. Every time I always mention Hoax, Fake, Corbell, Grush, Elizondo, just throw Semivan in there, will you? Because that guy deserves all the shit we could hold. You don't believe me? That guy's a piece of shit. Oh yeah, he's part of the disinfo campaign. You don't think so? Jim Semivan used to be briefed further on the topic after a 7-hour briefing. It says here, Jim Semivan says that they haven't made any sort of developments on the technological front and that it's this matrix idea. Let me show you what the frigonometry is going on. How can this be happening? Who cares? Oh, I do. Well, Semivan said that in this 7-hour briefing that he basically got the idea. Wait, what did I say? Okay, this matrix idea. This idea where you've got to admit that we're not in control, he says. Yeah, this is weird for Jim Semivan to say this, but it's not weird. It's just the timing. Semivan said that in this 7-hour briefing that he basically got the idea that that they've made some advances, but it was not on the tech front. It was on this matrix idea. And they wanted to give him another briefing. And he said, no, I've had enough. I can't take any more of this, because he was horrified by what they were showing him and what they'd actually developed on this psychic front. He said, forget it. I don't want another briefing. And he turned down learning more about it. What? Shut up. Cameron has had a discussion about the Gnostic Hindu perspective of Maya being the illusion that we live in and the Gnostic saying that this world is created by a false god and is run by the archons, not the God from the Old Testament. Yeah, that might be true. Ruby said, for me, this isn't shock because I actually sat and read the Bible not too long ago, and the God of the Old Testament is not a nice guy. He's horrible. He's a tyrant and wiped out, killed our fellow humans with a flood and commanded a man to sacrifice his own son as an offering. I kind of knew that whatever is running this world ain't good. I'm like, no, mate. This was a given no. Listen.
Where in the second last line, we live in a matrix. And that's what I think Jim Semivan talks about, where he says that they haven't made any sort of developments on the technological front, and that it's this matrix idea, this idea where you've got to admit that we are not in control, that it's this Maya thing is real, that you do create what's in front of you. And they're still trying to figure this out, that they're still in this physical world thing, and they're still trying to figure this thing out, because that's what Semivan said.
And do you know why Semivan would say such a thing? Because after all the years of his bullshit and no proof, no evidence came to light of anything he's ever said, he went to the old loophole. Now, some people who are inexperienced may say the Mandela effect or, time traveler, but we all know that's not true. But the Matrix? For some reason, it's believable to a lot of people. I'm still out on it, but I see the possibility that we can be in a computer matrix. How would you know? We could be in a computer. What am I saying? I feel like I'm not saying the words properly. We are in a computer program. We wouldn't be able to know. We wouldn't be able to tell the difference. Let me ask you this. How do you know what reality is? How do you know what it's supposed to look like? I mean, our eyes differ from snakes, lizards, and birds, and gorillas, and dogs, cats. We all see in different spectrums and a different light. I think that's really weird, but that's weird and it's not. It's evolutionary. It depends on where you were born. If you're an animal, a dog, cat, you would have certain skills that other animals wouldn't if you were living in the desert and then all of a sudden brought to an oasis. Yeah, you're not all of a sudden going to be, a camel that's not going to look for water. I don't know what I'm trying to say. A camel wouldn't be seen in the jungle. Is that what I'm saying? That would be a weird matrix. We talked about the Matrix in the Doppelganger show. What if there's copies of us out there? We're all part of the DNA machine. We're all part of the puppy power. Humans getting spit out all day. People dying all the time. Right? Evolution taking control. They seem to be getting smarter. Right? Then all of a sudden we evolve and we don't need to move our lips anymore. How'd that happen? Why did we lose all of our fur if we came from chimpanzees? Why do we get sunburn? Why do I have to wear glasses when it's a little bright? I thought we were indigenous to this planet. We were brought here by the video game guy who put us in the Matrix and said, let's see how humans do in this environment. And here we are. Why not? That's why they tell you, pray. Why? Because the creators and the people who watch us will help us if we ask. That's why the law of attraction works. We call it the law of attraction. We don't call it asking the Matrix people. We should. I'm gonna ask the Matrix people something right now in my mind. Yeah. All right. I asked. I hope it comes true. Not yet. So let's when you don't have any evidence, you go to the Matrix. It's the loophole of loopholes. It explains everything. Look, you know why UFOs can make right-handed turns at 30,000 miles an hour and nobody gets moited? Because they're moving in a different speed. They're moving in the normal speed to them, but because they're in the Matrix, to us, it ching ching, right? Why do we see shadow people and ghosts, spirits, and powder puffs? Yeah, powder puffs, puff of smokes, and then you see it form into something. I've got a crow or something like that that was made out of smoke. I I I think it was cigar smoke. And it's got an eye, it got feathers, got lashes, it's got the whole. It is freaking cool. Anyway, let's get back to work. I'm just talking about this because it's weird. We live in a weird world. And if Jim Semivan, the guy of all guys, who's really probably writing the scripts for Eleganzo and the crew, yeah, he and that other guy, what's the other nerd? Oh, I can't believe I forgot. Well, I always forget things I don't really care about. All right. Who am I? I care about me. I'm just kidding. All right. I gotta show you this. Because there is something seriously anomalous going on with Egypt. And we don't talk about it that much because there's not a lot of information coming out about ancient statues and megaliths, is it? Or monoliths? Well, did you know about this statue? How do you say? Sekhmet? Sekhmet? Sekhmet. That is typically locked away from the general public inside Karnak Temple. I want to hear this because they're talking. I didn't know about that. I know that in Iran, was it? During the Gulf War? Didn't we go into Iran or Iraq or Afghanistan, whatever, and go get a, what is it called? They made a movie out of it. It takes you, you can go from world to world. A Starlink or Star something. Anyway, I don't know if this is that. Check it out.
Karnak that I had a very strange experience with a statue of Sekhmet, which is quite a famous statue, and I didn't know that at the time. And like I said to you before we got on record, I'm actually usually a bit of an eye roller with people who are like, oh my God, I can feel the energy of this place. Holy shit, there's something going on there. I've been recording everything in Egypt, like every site. I've been trying to get as much video as I could. And I remember when they said that they were going to let us into this area where this statue of Sekhmet is. And my friend was like, this is actually quite a special area. Like a lot of people say that.
Wow, this guy's got connections or money. That's cool. Fuck, forget. That's cool.
They get a feeling. And I was like, okay,
Sorry.
yeah, you know, a lot of people always say they get a feeling. And anyway, so I was going in with my camera and I came around the corner into that very plain. And I love how it's done because it's such a plain square room with sand on the floor and a beam of light coming down like an Indiana Jones film that's illuminating this big statue of Sekhmet. But literally, the moment I came around the corner with my camera and turned it onto the statue, my arm just fell down. Like literally, my arm just fell down, and I just was staring at this statue, and it felt like the statue was locked onto me. I actually did start to get this very strange inertial feeling of almost being pulled towards it, and
is it grabbing him and her?
my like vision kind of narrowed and focused just on the statue. And it was only when my friend was like, "Hey, dude, we're leaving now," and grabbed me by the shoulder, I was like, whoa, hang on a second. I was in a trance, and then the
Wow.
people next to me reported the same thing and said, "Did you get a feeling like it was locking onto you?" And
Whoa.
I was getting goosebumps from that because that was the first time in my life that I'd ever truly felt the energy of something like so many people claim. And there's been
Wow.
camera anomalies taking photos of that, and I don't know what it's made out of, but there's something going on with that, right?
That's if you talk to anyone, it's probably more than
Wow.
any other statue in all of Egypt.
Did you see this? Look at that. I mean, there's the statue, fine, but something humanoidish. Oh man, that thing's like 12 feet tall. Whatever it is, wow. Yeah, I don't know. You guys may not care or believe, but I do. That's some weird stuff. Oh, kind of did look like that. Oh, you know what it might be? Well, they said they felt something. I'm thinking, well, maybe it's just some sort of ghost image, or they were trying different features, settings in the darker illuminated areas. Maybe, I don't know. It's cool either
Grabbed me by the
way.
shoulder. I
I'm
was like,
not dismissing that. That's cool.
and I was getting goosebumps from that because that was the first time in my life that I'd
Oh,
ever
cool.
truly felt the energy of something like
I've
so
had
many
that
people
happen.
claim.
That's why
And there's
I
been
believe it.
camera anomalies taking photos of that, and I don't know what it's made out of, but there's something going on with that, right?
That's if you talk to anyone, it's probably more than any other statue in all of Egypt. The one that is considered most alive. In fact, some locals believe that they lock that shrine room at Karnak because otherwise Sekhmet tears through the village.
Would get out.
and you know, is as in her lioness form. Yeah, I could list endless stories of one of my friends went in there and didn't quite respect that statue and suddenly got a random nosebleed out of nowhere, or
Wow.
very ill. Same like some of the effects of these curses or this.
What do you think's going on there then? What do you think explains that?
The locals believe this is actually the spirit. This is Sekhmet is the she's a force of guardianship for very much like the Sphinx.
Okay. It's pretty amazing. Hey, Dinkum. Dinkum Ozzy. Zach Diecast. Hey, Bernie. How you guys doing? Christopher V. Dan Peters. Good to see everybody hanging out. David Wilcox. Not Wilcox. Bee's Nest. What's up, everybody? So we've seen this happen before where people get ill for disrespecting an antique that has an attachment. We have heard it and seen it, and some of us have experienced it. But the energy for something to stay with that statue and to do what it does, it might have something to do with the environment. I don't know if they're in the pyramid, I don't remember, or a pyramid or a tomb, but maybe that has something to do with keeping the energy alive, for lack of a better term. Right? Maybe that's what the pyramids do. Maybe it keeps the spirits alive, kind of entombs them. I don't know if that would be true. And then we don't know because we don't know. There's just a lot of deception going on with everything. I don't trust anything that's coming out of Egypt, especially with Zawi Hawass at the helm of the antiquities portion. He used to be the curator. And then he got fired, then rehired after like a couple year hiatus. I don't know what he's doing now, but he's important again. I think he's got a lot of dirt on people. He's one of those. He's like a Biden or a Clinton. He's like a Clinton. Yeah, more of that.
This original lioness that was Mahit, that was called Mahit, was this.
Look at this.
The lioness is that energy is like, what better energy do you want to guard sacred knowledge than a mother lion who will shred to pieces anyone who is threatening her children, but who will guard her children better than anyone. So you need an energy that can differentiate between these. And this is, in the history of the, that is Sekhmet's role, is as this protector of the sacred knowledge of Egypt.
Now, there's another theory that can be used or talked about when it comes to people coming in contact with the statue and being disrespected or don't believe it or just something negative towards it. It could be mental. It could be mental. It could be all in your head. You kept thinking about it and thinking about it and thinking about it. And then when you kept getting closer to Sekhmet, you're like, oh, I'm almost there. I'm going to get to see that statue up close. Oh, I don't believe in that stuff. And now all of a sudden your energy's been passed on to Sekhmet and your demise is already over. It's over before you even get there. Because the sound of your vibration, yeah, you don't hear it, but the pyramids can pick it up and channel it. It's true. Those pyramids are designed. I'm telling you, man, they're designed for sound and I think water. And I think there's some sort of energy that comes from it. Maybe it's a transporter. Maybe it's it transports spirits. I don't freaking know, man. I'm just mad that I don't know. And it makes me sad that we will never know. The secrets, they shouldn't be. It's sad that we're not given the truth. I talked to Dark Hour about, about anything. We always, when it comes to the paranormal, spiritual, matrix type of realities that we heard Semivan bring up, we have these discussions. I'm like, God, man, if we would have done a show on what we just talked about, so many people like us want to know the truth, but we'll never know. It breaks my heart. That's all. Breaks my heart.
And it's you can almost see the name Kemet in her name, Sekhmet. That's the name of Egypt. It's she's the protector of that. And you can also see Mehit in that name too, Sekhmehit. And she is also a lioness, just like Mehit, who is this guardian over the library in northern Egypt. So she's the differentiation. You need Sekhmet permission, basically. And never, ever disrespect that statue. Just don't, I'll tell anyone who's listening.
There's so many statues of Sekhmet, though. That's the thing. Why is this statue so resonant and strong with an energy?
That's her official shrine room. That's her official her sanctuary.
Kind of the OG shrine room for her.
That's her, domain.
All right. Interesting. Really, that, a statue that old in that location having that kind of power over somebody, I'm not sure I buy into it. But look, let me tell you something. I didn't buy into the Ouija board. And I used it over 100 times to try to make contact with the devil, and I was disrespectful 97 times. It's like, and I forgot to say goodbye to every session. So that is right about the time I started having health issues. As a matter of fact, it was the time when I started having health issues. I'm talking days after I started it. But, I didn't think anything of it. I wasn't telling anybody what I was doing either because I was doing it privately. So for 3 months, I was doing this almost every day. 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there. Light up the 7 or 6 candles, 4 cameras. Still have all that footage to share. It's really weird. In one of the EVP sessions that I did, because I would also do EVP after I did the Ouija board, you can hear some strange, like, I don't know if I caught something outside, but it sounded like chanting. Or maybe someone said it sounded like deep breathing, but it was almost like rhythmic. And that kind of does sound like a dog. So I don't know. My dog wasn't in the room. He was in the other room because I didn't want him jumping on me, scaring the shit out of me, which is what he did the first time. And it's funny. And I also don't want him to get anything go wrong with him. I don't want him to be around. I don't want to hear his footsteps, the nails. I'll think it's a spirit. So I had to remove all that. And he was sleeping anyway, so most of the time. Anyway, so it makes you think, well, how is that possible to talk into a planchette and a piece of cardboard and get energy, get something to come back? Like it's a communication device? Please. How does it work? I don't know, but apparently it does. And I think I could use this hat just as easily as a Ouija board. As long as you send out the right language, right? Yo, coming or what? I got the Ouija board planchette. I got the eyepiece. I got it all. Are you coming over? And if they don't come over, And they also say don't ever do the Ouija board alone. Chicken Coop says, hey, Rich, once you understand that the tunnel systems under the pyramids are all interconnected to other sites, and then you'll see a familiar pattern emerge. Power grid. Thanks, Chicken Coop. Confidential. Yeah, there's so much underground Chicken Coop confidence. CCC. Hey, 3C. What's up, C3PO? Oh, what? Anyway, it's weird, right? There's so much we don't know that's right under our feet, above our head, behind our back, right under our nose. It's amazing. Oh yeah, I got to show you some more stuff. Check this out. You're not going to like it though, because I already hear people. This is a 2-minute sighting. All right, it's almost 3 minutes, but I'm going to probably stop it. But I think you guys can appreciate a good sighting. Is this... Excuse me. My God, I'm losing it. Is this a good sighting? Ladies and gentlemen, I give you... I don't know.
What is that, people?
What is that, people?
What is that? No, it changes shapes.
First of all, it is singular. So how could it change shapes? Are you saying there's shapes in front of it and it's changing them? Because that sounds more logical than what you said. I'm sorry, I can't help it. Bad grammatical speaking.
It's not a firework.
It's not.
It's not a balloon.
It's not.
No. What is that? What is that? It's the original size. What is that?
It's original. There's
what
extra
is it?
crispy. What's happening is it's rotating. And the balloon is oblong. So what this person can't do is critically think that through. And we've got what we got here. What is that? What is it? I don't know what it means. I know not everybody's an expert.
Now. What is that? It's like no drone I've ever seen.
We got our drone expert, everybody. No need to look any further. You heard it here first.
No drone I've ever seen.
She's seen them all. Every drone out there. So now you feel better? I don't.
What is it? Anyone have any clue what this is? They're here. No clue. It's like slowed to a complete halt, basically.
So what do you think it is over there? You think this is a balloon? Or you think this is a drone? I'll tell you what it is. It's a balloon. You could even see string. See it? Right there and right there. What is that? Is that string over here? Is string everywhere? No. There ain't no string to be seen. It don't mean it got to have no string to be a balloon. Just because it don't got no string don't mean it's a balloon. Not every balloon's got a steering. Capiche? Capiche. It's a good one. It's a good one, but it's a balloon. How do I know? Because the end of the video ended there, and they didn't show us the most important part. Whether you lose it out of your sight or what, you don't just stop it where everybody can still see it. We want to see it till the very end. And if that means, well, we need you to stay out there. Yeah. For another 10 minutes, get in your car, go follow it. Get in your bicycle, go follow it. It didn't look like it was going any faster than walking speed, which is 0.3 miles an hour. Now get. Isn't it? Walking. If you were to walk a mile, it takes 15 minutes to walk a mile. So you're walking 1.5 miles per hour now. All right. That's the sighting from Ursula K80. And that was from Florida, by the way, my peeps. Right here in the old Florida. I don't know what I was going to say. All right, what do we got here? Oh, yeah. Do I want to play this? Well, one more try here. Let's see. Oh, no, I want to play this. Okay, so this is from Rose Cuckold's show. Need to know? No. It premieres, I guess, tonight, right after, well, at the end of the show, it says, Rose Cuckold says something that is so shocking, I was completely unprepared to hear it. And now that I've sat with it a bit, I think I disagree with them. I'll be interested to see what everybody else thinks. I'll put the URL up as soon as the piece is edited. Wow. Now we've got to know. We got to know. Oh, wait, here it is. Let me see. No, it didn't start yet. 40 minutes, 39 minutes. Are you excited to hear what Rose Cuckold says? We'll find out it was a bunch of nothing.
That we're living inside an equation with too many variables. There's just too
yeah, he said that we're living in a matrix. Yeah, that's what it was. So unbelievable.
many unknowns in the equation. And we keep trying to solve the equation. You know, we got NHI over here, we got China here, we got drones,
Shame
we
on
got
us.
we got Nimitz, we got abductions, we got
Numbnut?
crop circles, we got and on and on and on. And this equation, at least in the public sphere, is not getting resolved. So I guess I just want to, in our final moments here, go back out to that. It's not even 35,000 feet. It's more like 80,000 feet if you're talking about NHI and UAP. But what's the big picture here? Why are we still here in general at this stage of our development? Who's benefiting by ignoring?
What? Who's what?
We still here, but what's the big picture here? Why are we still here in general at this stage of our development? Who's benefiting by ignoring a reality that's this large? Is it literally just about weapons, or is there something even bigger out there?
I think what he's saying is whatever the government's telling us, they show us something different. Everything they want from the alien technologies for weapons. That's all they want. They want to turn it into a weapon. Forget about free energy, right? Forget about instant travel from galaxy to galaxy. Possibilities are endless, right? To withhold anything of that nature from us must be very lucrative for the people that are in gas and coal and oil, right? We haven't depleted the earth yet of its resources. Isn't that pretty much what it sounds like to you? Wait a minute, says the oil, gas, and electric people. Wait a minute. How are we going to get paid if there's no more gas, coal, or oil? Can't run the earth on wind alone or sun alone or sun and wind combined. You can't. You got to have backup. But there's this technology out there that can eliminate everything. All of our problems. No more digging. No more pollution. No more exhaust. And we could travel to places we never thought possible. Right? All this stuff that we're being left out. We want to play too. So it makes me think that we don't have this technology. It makes me believe that everything we're told is a lie, mixed in with a truth every now and then. Do we have the technology that could take ET home? Yep. Can we use it? Nope. We just got the technology. We don't know how to use it. That's like giving an iPhone to people in 1750. Here you go. Make a call. Make a what? They didn't even have the phone. Here, use the app. An app. Back engineer it. I don't even know what that word is. What did he say? Back engineer. You know what I mean? They can't. They wouldn't even know where to begin. Give them a piece of plastic. You know what I mean? They can't. We can't back engineer something that not only was from another place, but had different. I mean, the minerals and everything's the same, but the way they were put together, it's just not something we're used to seeing. Right? So, yeah, it may be from this planet, the minerals, but it's not composed in a way that anybody would do here. Right? So why would they make this metal this way? You know, I have a question for everybody. I want you to think of this. Do you remember Roswell? Right? Do you remember when they the story was Mac Brazel, who was it? He would go, he'd bring the stuff home, they'd curl it up into a ball, and then when they released it, it all unfurled, it unraveled. They tried to break it, they tried to burn it, they tried to cut it. Nothing can damage this stuff. My question is, then why is it in pieces? If this is indestructible shit, why is it strewn all over the farmland out here? Pretty silly, isn't it? Nobody ever talks about that. It's supposed to be indestructible. We took a hammer, we took a torch, we took a knife. But it's a million pieces. It'll make no sense. And if it'll make no sense, it can't be true. See, this is why Roswell to me is off limits, because it's full of bullshit so deep. It's the gift that stopped giving the day they said, we got a weather balloon. It was over at that point. We knew, well, we know now. Go back and play it in your head. Day they did that, we knew it was an uphill battle ever since. And here we are, 80 years later. Glenn Collins says the governments around the world, they want us to stay stupid and dull so they can keep us under control by their laws. Yeah, we got all the tech too, cancers and AIDS, reversals and free electricity. Free what? Yeah, nothing's free. That's sad, right? Good comment there. It was Bernie Foyle, right? But it's funny to me. They want us to believe that this indestructible UFO is all over the place. You're right, Glenn. They want to keep us dumb. But do they? Is it keeping us dumb, or is it keeping us safe from ourselves? So check this out. The government has alien technology. They can't back engineer. Like I said, it's like bringing an iPhone back to 1750. They can't do it. They don't have the machines. They don't even know where to start. Right? It would take years of research for them to figure it out. There's no way they're back engineering it. You know when they'll back engineer it? In 2006 when it came out. That's when they'll figure it out. So they could have this technology that we can't figure out. That's what I think. That's what I think we have. I think we have technology that can take ET home. We just don't know how it works. It's pretty scary too, because they don't know how it works. And we know that Bob Lazar story where that thing exploded, right? Right? Isn't that true? Where it's not even Bob Lazar's story. It's some couple of times I think people died trying to put the lid on top of the I don't know, and then it exploded. Sort of cancer killed people in a week. Yeah, it was pretty horrible. So they're messing with stuff that they have no idea what it does. They have no idea how it works. They don't know where it came from. Imagine finding something like that. What would you do? Imagine finding something like that. You wouldn't know what to do with it. It doesn't matter how smart people are around the world. But to think, because Greer talks about it, oh yeah, during the Afghanistan war, they were using Tic Tacs to deliver heroin at 40,000 miles an hour. Using the Tic Tac for drug runs. Who's going to see 40,000 miles an hour go by their house? You wouldn't even know what to say it was. You wouldn't even know what it was. Wouldn't even know what to say. Wouldn't even know who to call. You would have thought you would have imagined it. Imagined it? What the hell happened to me? It's a very strange world, and we're just living in it. And I want to know some of the secrets. It's not fair. It's not. I got to talk about this. All right, I'm going to play this. I'm just going to play it. This is funny. Is it? I don't know. This is from Red Panda Koala, okay? And it says here, you don't try and kill God. You don't try and kill Jesus. And then it says, Christopher Gray was a seemingly normal person who served as a liaison for faith healings for Christopher Bledsoe. AKA, your daughter is sick, send a lock of hair and a picture, and Christopher Bledsoe will pray for them in front of a burning bush. Guys, I am so angered. I did not know he was doing that. How did I not know? Yeah, that's it, Dinkum. That's why when they tried cutting into the reactor. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's it. Bernie, thank you very much. $5, Bernie throwing it down tonight. Somebody match it. Throw down 25, 50, 100. I appreciate that, Bernie. Thank you very much. Continuing supporter of Goofon. It's Sunday night. Yeah, it's not even Monday. Yeah, and this was supposed to be a members show. Sorry. I'm a bad host. I'm bad. Anyway, so I had no idea that Bledsoe was doing this, dude. This is bad. This is it. That's it. He's done. No more. No. Chris Gray snapped and murdered his father, stabbing him 110 times while speaking about Chris Bledsoe, the lady, and satanic rituals. Yikes. Christopher Gray, well, if you've ever heard of the lady before, she's actually my teacher, says this post. Christopher Gray was a user on UFO Twitter who murdered his father in 2021 by stabbing him 110 times. He recorded a video of the murder and sent it to many people. Let me pull it up and show you this, what I'm reading, so you could maybe read at your own speeds. Thanks, Bernie. Christopher Gray thought he was in communication with the lady that Christopher Bledsoe was in contact with. Yeah, isn't that nice? This is what I'm talking about, my friends. This is why the lie is bad. He mentions the lady and the Bledsoes in his murder video. It is unclear how much communication he had with the Bledsoes. Chris Gray was utilized as a UFO hate group attack dog and would partake in coordinated doxing and harassment with Jonathan Davies. It is my opinion the Bledsoes were not aware of this dynamic or the people above Gray and Davies who were weaponizing him. Jonathan Davies did serve as a liaison for people seeking faith healings from Bledsoe during that time. Chris Gray sent his murder video to many prominent figures in ufology, and no one spoke about it. What? I did? No, I didn't get it. This tragedy should have been a learning moment for this community. Instead, there was a coordinated doxing and harassment campaign against anyone who spoke of this. Speaking of this was seen as hurting disclosure due to Gray's proximity to prominent UFO figures. Oh my God. To be clear, I don't think Christopher Bledsoe is in any way responsible for this murder, nor anyone else. I do think whoever was working Chris Gray up behind the scenes and pointing him at people to harass bears some responsibility for his deteriorating mental state, which did factor into the murder. And like I said, the way this murder was brushed under the rug in this community, I find disturbing. I didn't know about it. I'm sorry. This video is of Moran Lerner, someone tracking Gray during that time, breaking down of the situation, the email to prominent UFO figures, and playing audio call of Chris Gray to his brother immediately after murdering his father, where he mentions the Bledsoe lady. The Chris Gray story is one of the many reasons why I'm so annoyed about the dangers when mentally unstable people are weaponized by nefarious actors in the shadows. Wow. Damn.
February last year.
Moran Lerner speaks on Christopher Gray.
There was a murder in February last year. That was covered on Steve Cambion's show, and I'm not going to go into all too much detail about it, but the murderer was Christopher Gray, who was very close to Jonathan Davies. Jonathan has been trying to say that he wasn't that close. They just exchanged a few messages about a bit of research about NASA and this, that. They were close. They were doxing and threatening people. They used to threaten people and warn them, anyone that would listen, warn them not to talk to me, and I will show evidence of this. They doxed deep. They doxed numerous people. Christopher Gray himself threatened numerous people. He would send people photos of their homes, their work. It was just a crazy time. But it wasn't just Christopher Gray. Jonathan Davies and many others in their group used to do this to so many people. But here is an example.
Who?
Of Christopher Gray's account, UFO researchers speaking with Jonathan Davies, I Want to Know UK. There it is, Jonathan telling him about his aliens that landed outside his house, all of his long exposure photos. What's important is the dates. This took place on the 8th of February.
All right, so the guy was a little out there. Same thing Richard Doty did to what's his name, got him all worked up. Yeah, it's sad. God, to stab your dad 110 times. Why not do 111? You know, it's such a nice number. The only reason I looked at that story because of the mention of Chris Bledsoe, but it seems like there was no connection, right? So, I want to show you this from Into Thin Air. This is extremely scary. And it's gone. Yeah, anyway. Well, that's okay. Maybe he took it down for some reason. Is that it? That's it. All right. Well, we made it. I want to thank everybody, all the moderators and super chatters. Thank you for keeping the show up and running. And very, very nicely done, by the way. And also the newcomers, the veterans, thank you very much for being a part of tonight's chat room. And hope everybody enjoyed themselves. And if you did and you like to support Truthology for ufology, we do it the best, in my opinion. I'm telling you what I feel, what I think, what I know. Other people, they hide, they run, they stay scared, and you never know. But thank you very much for hanging out. All the links are in the show description. Jeff Willis will be joining me Wednesday. He's coming back. He's got a couple of sightings and some interesting things to talk about. Yeah, Arizona's starting to pick up again. So we'll see what he's got for the tape. You can go on to UFOs over Phoenix right now and see the new stuff. So this way you can get ready for Wednesday. But thanks for hanging out. And what you know, if you ain't looking up, you ain't looking out for ufology. And we do Truthology for ufology. We do it for you. We do. I believe me. Just ask me. All right, everybody. Have a great, wonderful, safe night. Enjoy the rest of it. And we'll see you tomorrow. And Rich Saves America will be tomorrow, 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the afternoon. New times. Maybe 3. No, 2 or 1. All right, I'll see you. I'm so sorry. I'm not well. I'm not well. All right, I'll see you. If everything's going well, you know, knock on wood. My mother used to do that to me. It used to make me laugh. Oh, I'd laugh. It's weird. All right, everybody. We'll see you on the flip. Take care. Alien bless.